Okay, this is my project. I chose to do it over Catherine of Siena. She lived during the Crusades, and she is a saint of the Crusades. She was born in 1347 in the Republic of Siena. It would now be Italy. As a child, she was deeply devoted. She'd always have the strong faith she's had her whole life. She was a mystic. That's what she's known for. She was connected to God from an early age, and she had visions that she said led her to believe certain things and have the belief she did have. She's very famous for her writing. She wrote many letters to religious figures, to the Pope. She wrote to anybody. And when she wrote her book, it became a book, The Dialogue of Saint Catherine of Siena. She was writing to God. She died in 1380 at a pretty young age. She was only 33. To touch on the Crusades, she was a proponent for the Crusades. She tried to encourage Gregory XI, who was the head of the Catholic Church at the time, to wage war against the Muslims. She later changed her heart, and she helped him advocate for peace against all Christians, because at the time there was infighting between different Christian groups. The Crusades were not just Christians against other religions. Her work, her biggest work, The Dialogue of Catherine of Siena, she describes in this about how she prays every day. She's constantly in prayer, and she feels like that's what keeps her closest to God, and how if you want to have the best kind of relationship, you should always be in prayer. She talks about finding truth in self through the relationship you hold with God. She's well known as being a person who took care of the sick and the needy. She is the patron saint of nurses and healthcare. At the time, she had a great following of people. She saw visions from an early age. She saw herself helping others, and she saw God and Jesus talking to her. She claimed to be married to Jesus. She did this around 22, very famously, and she kept this as the only marriage she had. She wrote to Pope Gregory. She was very close to high up people in the Catholic Church, and they all took her very seriously, which I think is unique, her being a woman at the time. Her death is also interesting. She starved to death, and because of the starvation, she had a stroke. One of the nuns that was with her asked her and begged her to eat, but at the end of her life, she refused to. Some people call her death a holy self-hate, and it's claimed that she died looking at a crucifix, and she said that she'd rather suffer on this earth so that she have a good afterlife. The reason I chose this person was because I was interested how women affected the Crusades, and I found that the religion didn't just exclude women; women were also allowed in it, and I think she was an interesting and cool example of that. And I really enjoyed learning about her. Thank you.